everything.
Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Zeus here, and today I wanted to cover how to get easy legendaries. It's not that hard. It involves some luck and it involves some skill. Now, if you guys haven't ever played the Grand Challenge, this is definitely your most beneficial way to get a legendary. Out of the last 5 out of the 7, I believe, I think I've done 7 Grand Challenges. I've gotten a legendary 5 times out of 7. Now, those odds are crazy. I'm not saying you're going to get a legendary every single time. I'm not saying you're going to get 5 out of the 7 tries you're going to get a legendary. But for me, I did. I've heard of people getting the Infernal Dragon on their first Grand Challenge. I got my first legendary out of my first Grand Challenge. Not sure if it's like something that Supercell just throws in there to pull you back, to make you play again. And it kind of involves pay to win. I mean, 100 gems, that's not easy to save up for a free-to-play player. I know you can, but you only have one try then with the 100 gems. When if you say you went over to the shop and bought $5 worth, that gives you 5 tries, and I can almost guarantee 2 to 3 out of the 5 you will get a legendary, depending on how far you get. If we look at my recent tournaments, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the first 2 that I did, I got to 4 wins. Unfortunately, they're not on here. They're pushed out by the tournaments that I host in my live stream. But the first 2, I got to 4 wins. The first one, I opened up and I got the minor. The second one, in the same day, I got to 4 wins. Right after the other one, I got another minor. Right here, this Grand Challenge, I didn't get anything. And then these 2 right here, these first 2 7s, I got a Lumberjack on the first one, and I got a Sparky on the second. Then, I did not get anything from this 7, but this 6, I did get a Princess. So, out of the last 7 Grand Challenges I've done, I've gotten 5 Legendaries, which, that's phenomenal. The Grand Challenge does cost 100 gems to enter. However, if you get to 6 wins, I think, you're getting about 5 to 6,000 gold, that's enough to upgrade at least 2 cards, depending on how high of level you are, and you're going to get at least 250 to 300 cards. I think the most I've gotten from a chest is like 3 something, but it is extremely fun to open them chests. I know everyone on my stream enjoys it. I enjoy it. It's kind of like, will I get a legendary? Will I not? You can definitely tell if you're going to get a legendary. When you're about to open the chest, if you hit the little info icon, it'll tell you what you need. And then if you have an extra card at the end, 9 times out of 10, it's a legendary, unless you didn't count up the commons. Sometimes I've gotten joked at the end and gotten a ton of ice spirits. But right here, my highest max win is 7. I've won 2,490 cards from the Grand Challenge. Now, I've only done it 7 times, like I said. I don't win much from tournaments. That's the reason I don't do those. You can get legendaries from tournaments. I've seen people getting legendaries from the 50-man tournament, where you only get, I think it's like 25 cards for first place. Not 100% sure. But as you guys can see, I will show some of the Grand Challenges. Now, I'm going to let you know, I did make a video earlier. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn my mic on. I don't know how I forgot. There's literally a big red button or light at the top that shows it's on, and I forgot to turn it on. What I was covering was these 2 losses right here. We'll go ahead and show. I literally lost connection in both of them in the first 10 seconds. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just me, if I have Walmart connection. I don't know. But I couldn't even place a troop here. I hurried up, double tapped, swiped up, opened up the game. Then I got stuck at the 50% loading glitch. Not sure if anyone else has that. Definitely comment below if your game has ever gotten to 50% and then just stopped for some reason. So I had to double tap, swipe up again, close it one more time. Now right here, he does take my tower, and I come back into the game, and at this point I'm just like, alright, I just need to push the other side. He's obviously going to get a tower on me. That's unfortunate. He does fireball my minions. At that point, I was literally about to double tap up and just leave. This was the second one now, and I was getting so furious because I was 6-1 in the Grand Challenge. I lost one fairly. I got outplayed. The P.E.K.K.A at the end in OT, it literally almost ran out. We almost didn't finish the match. The P.E.K.K.A swung on my tower with 0 hit points left. Not sure how that's possible. I could have logged it. I didn't. I thought it was going to die. Unfortunately, I lost that one. And then I lost both of these to lag. I for sure could have gotten to at least 10 wins because the 2 matches that I lost right here would have put me to 8. And I would have got better matchups than having more losses. In my opinion, I find that I get better matches when I have less losses somehow. But right here, there was really no way for me to come back from this. This deck that I'm using, it's a chip deck. It's not easy to just take a tower at once unless you get really lucky. Throw down that miner in the minion horde, and they're not paying attention. Right there, he had a really nice kite. I'll give him that. He pulled my half my minion horde one way, half the other. That is definitely something that I only see minimal people do. Not a lot of people know you can do it. It's easier to do with a giant and say like a giant P.E.K.K.A or something. But right here, I was struggling to keep him out of my base. I couldn't get to his tower. It's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. I do have enough gems to do 13 more grand challenges. But in my opinion, the grand challenge is the easiest and most efficient way to get legendaries. If you get to 4 wins and you don't get a legendary, I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna. I got to 4 wins twice in a row and got a legendary both times. I know I've watched Phone Catch stream. He got a legendary out of 4 wins. And I'll be broad and say I think anyone can get 4 wins in the Grand Challenge. It's not hard to go 4 for 2. It's 50-50. You just have to play smart. And if you guys want to know a good deck, this deck right here has gotten me to the 7. This deck right here I made up. I wouldn't mess with this deck. This deck right here, however, is pretty effective. It's more of a hog cycle chip deck. You do have the Inferno. You have the free spell. The free spell you have to play very, very carefully. It is 4 elixir. And the only problem with this deck that I found is after the freeze ends, you just have such a large majority of troops coming to your base. A fireball wouldn't be bad to throw in here instead of maybe, I don't know, maybe the Mega Minion. A fireball could be put in there, but then you won't have much air coverage at all. The only reason I like this deck is because I have the Minion Horde and the Princess with the fireball. But this has covered, in my opinion, how to get the easiest legendaries. If you guys enjoyed and you've gotten a legendary from the Grand Challenge, hit that like button. If you guys have any other ways that you have gotten legendaries, comment down below. I know I've heard phenomenal stories on people getting legendaries from free chests. I heard a guy who got like 6 or 7, which sounds incredible. I've never gotten one from a free chest. I'd like to. And if you guys are new, hit that sub button. We're slowly climbing our way up. And I will catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.